This is the Nineveh Plains. Assyrian Christians who trace their roots to the time of Noah have historically claimed this area as home. Now, Iraqis are calling for this place to be officially declared a Christian province.
We have 500,000 Christian refugees in the neighboring countries. And so our position has been very clear to the government. These people will not come home until they have a place to go to.
Ken Joseph is with the Assyrian Alliance. He and leaders of 16 other Iraqi Christian organizations recently met to talk about forming a Christian province. Joseph says just getting the different groups to agree on something as historic as this was nothing short of a miracle.
They put away all their arguments and they got together and did it.
Iraqi Christians have in recent weeks been prime targets of Muslim extremists. The biggest attack came October 31st when members of an al-Qaeda group attacked a church in Baghdad, leaving 68 people dead. Iraqi believers are now wondering whether it's time to leave their homeland despite calls to stay.
We are addressing you, our dear sons, in these difficult days, appealing to you to be constant in your faith and love to the soil of this homeland, Iraq.
As the violence against Christians escalates, hundreds of Christian families began fleeing to the Kurdistan region of northern Iraq.
It's the best of times and the worst of times. It's the best of times because for the first time people have freedom. They can do things they've never been able to do before. The church can do things they never were able to do before. But it's also the worst of times because you have forces that are desperate to keep this success from ever accomplishing its goals.
Since the October attack, several more people have lost their lives, including a Christian shopkeeper who was shot in the city of Mosul.
And as the violence here in Mosul increased, Christians have become more open to this idea of an autonomous region, an area where they can not only practice their faith, but live in freedom.
It would be great to live in a place where I'm not forced to wear the veil or follow strict Muslim codes of conduct.
In the last couple of years, wealthy Christian businessmen have poured millions of dollars into the Nineveh Plains, building churches, schools, and homes for displaced Christians.
The idea is that we would have a place run by Christians, have our own flag, our own government, our own security force.
1 million Christians lived in Iraq before the 2003 U.S. invasion. Less than half of that number still remain. Joseph and others hope a new province will persuade Iraqi Christians to come back and help rebuild their homeland. George Thomas, CBN News.